How are you feeling today?
I'm good. I watched my video. Thank God for the last part
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I was like, I'm quitting. I suck. I suck. I am losing him.
No.
Yes, it's the year is a foggy here. It's still fun. I'm just like the cancer is so bad. Like his nose is so far in the air. I don't have a good contact. I don't have a good connection. I'm not getting from behind. None of it. It's terrible.
Oh,
But
that's
then the
funny.
shot at the end was like so nice. I'm like, oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't believe it.
I think, bit by bit, you'll find better times and places. Obviously, we'd like to take bits and pieces from our best moments and put them together and get the full picture.
And I know we're not even focusing on cancer, like
No.
it sounds more about cancer,
Yeah.
but it's just so frustrating when his nose is like so far in the air. And it's like, and the worst thing is, I didn't even realize. Like, I think that's what bothers me the most. I didn't even realize how bad my connection was. Like,
So I think the other thing is too is that I'm the one that gets to see you all the times, and you don't. So I think it's so cool now that we're doing more online lessons that you get the chance to tape yourself, and we're pretty adamant about it now, other than like losing the other one. um, but I think more or less, the more videos that we can get, the more, and I've said this again 100 times, but the more that um, that we get a bit of a video library, and it keeps you really honest. It keeps you really more aware. And just think yesterday, if never had a video, and then you think it's good and bad, right? Because sometimes I think that we need, it's so frustrating that we need to not see it, and just, if it feels okay, just be like, okay, it felt fine. And then there's other times that, more than not, I think that we need to see the video, because I can say it 100 times and you still can't feel it. Like, you have to actually hear me saying it, and start to see. And then you have to be, I don't want to say mad enough, but frustrated enough to, in those moments of when I'm saying, come on, like, come on. And if the frustration is coming through my voice, that you say, okay, I'm going to give it, like, I'm really going to tear into him here. I'm going to get these few minutes. I'm going to get this second. I'm going to get this stride. Like, I'm going to at least try to feel the change, And I think that it's all parts of it. The feeling, the different days, the videos, the watching, it's really all part of it. So a lot of these, like I said, some ladies and writers never get to really focus hard on all of these details. And, like, how the videos now are just also another game changer. Not so fun for some ladies. Like, you can't let it be like, oh my gosh, I hate this, I hate that what I see. Keep doing it, I promise. Keep doing it, and keep watching, and keep trying, and keep doing it. You'll see them change. And if you don't see the change in that video, then go back and scroll back through other videos and see that maybe, oh look, that was really good at that point, but my other thing wasn't so good. Or, you're always trying to find the positive things, and in an honest way. If also, I'm trying to always look like, hey, was my thing better like a month ago, and something I thought was usually good is worse? Like that again, we have to watch. It's reality.
Right.
But I think the more that you do watch, and the point that you do get so frustrated of nearly quitting, those are the best times. those are the, I mean, you're not gonna quit, but you know what I mean, like, you feel like, okay, that's like, I mean, when I had that breakdown, when I worked with Guillermo, like, basically all summer, and then had a little bit of time off between, you know, packing and getting everything together to Florida, and had kind of like lost Domino in his length, you know, in the shortness of his body, and had that first lesson, and like, here we go again, like, I'm like, here we go again, like, what the heck? Like, I can't believe we're still stuck on the same thing, you know? And I lost it. But then I said, perfect, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna, like, I've got to do this. And then I remember like 5 lessons after, like, there's another horse looking, his muscles were already changing. So I think the only thing I can say is that you'll have a lot of waves like this, but I think this is part of it. You have to enjoy all of this part of it. That's the thing. It's so enjoyable.
It's so hard. Why? This is like the part, I swear, like the hardest thing I've ever tried to do. And
Well, so part of why it's so hard with him though is one of the hardest part with him, why it's hard, is the main part why he's a good boy with you. So he has the very same thing that is hard for you is the very same thing that is like golden, why he takes care of you. Like, because it takes so much work to try to get him going and motivated and energized, connected. You spend all the time doing it. But here's the thing, you're learning that with him. So when you go to the next horse, probably 9 times out of 10, we're so heightenedly aware about it that you're like, okay, we don't even have to like guess about it. You'll be like, oh my gosh, I know this thing with Donna was so hard to get him to go and get him to connect it. And I go with him, but then when I went with him, he just backs off. He doesn't want to stay up there. So obviously your next horse is not going to have that problem, but that next horse will have another problem, something else, something, maybe it will be going too much and be rushing too much. So again, this is unfortunately how it is. So you have to, the quicker you learn that and understand that, the better it will be, because it is the way it is. So why he's so good with you when you're at home, and you know, and you can kind of like get mad at him and crack him with a whip, and he, you know, yeah, okay, like sometimes he jumps around. It's nothing. It's nothing what he does. He's really safe with you. He's really a good boy with you. He really, you know, it's all within this like funny realm. You know, he's not really trying to hurt you. It's like he's really actually, yeah. But he would never want to hurt you. So that's you know, it's the very thing that is so good that I can say, well, I mean, it's great she has this horse. He's not going to try to kill her. But in essence, he's a slow, sluggish, kind of lazy kind of horse. But that's kind of the best horse for most amateurs, especially when they have them at home and you're, you know, yeah, you're fortunate enough to do that. I can watch you ride quite often now, but a lot of times to be on your own, and you're fine. You're fine on your own. You're fine. You know, maybe you're trying to do better at your rides and what you're doing, but in general, we're not trying to like figure out how to keep you safe and ride the horse or get you over a mental like, oh my gosh, like I'm scared of this horse now and I don't know what to do. I don't want to ride him. I'm scared. I mean, imagine there's all those things. So it's the same thing. So watch those videos and hopefully bring today the video in your mind. And try to, when you feel like you're, you know, too tired and you can't do it, watch the video in your head and say, oh, come on. If you feel like you've asked him enough and you're going around and you think that that's good, watch the video in your mind and say, I want to have a better, I want to try harder because I want to see what the video looks like today. I want to, like, I think that's what I kind of do in my lessons as well. I mean, it's kind of ironic. I mean, there's kind of some places where he'll be like, okay, like that's enough, like no more half pass or no more changes, and I'll do like a little more because I want to see it in the video. Like I'm a little greedy, and he'll be like, you know, and sometimes it works out, and sometimes he'll be like, like why did you ask for another change? Like that's pushing it, you know, and I'll laugh because it will be because of the video. It will be because I'm literally thinking about like what I want to watch, like I want to see it later. All right, let's go for top. So tell me about this trot.
It's just like a warm-up spot, nothing spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to start.
Are you videotaping? I hope so, after all of that I talked to. Okay, good. Go ahead. Keep going. And tell me what else you think about this trot.
And I can see his little head wiggling around, which makes me crazy.
What else?
I'm trying to keep my outside range.
Good. What else?
Falls a bit on the outside and get my outside range. Hip back.
Good. And what do you think about his energy level? Is he giving you any more on his own energy compared to, let's say, this is the end of the week, let's say in the beginning of the week? Is it the same? Is it any different? Is it worse?
A little more sluggish, honestly, I'd say. I'm not pushing too hard, but
yeah.
He's making me tired.
Okay. So I would say go to this kind of point in this kind of trot where it's, not the depths of despair, but basically where, you're kind of helping him, but hopefully he's giving, you're not having to like whip him every stride or kick him every stride. Find that kind of trot. And then when that seems pretty good, you could do one or two things. One, you could start to ask him for a little bit more activity or more in some places, and then come back to see what he gives you on his own. And then also you can start adding into these kind of circles, serpentines, and seeing that he either maintains the energy, it's like a constant making a checklist. And sometimes you'll be surprised. Sometimes you'll think, oh, the last thing I want to do is small circles. He doesn't want to go. Or the last thing that I want to do is trot walk transitions. That doesn't really make sense. But sometimes that is what we may or may not need. Good. When he gets too sluggish, I want you to tell me, what do you think when he gets too sluggish?
See, I always worry he's sluggish because I'm holding in my thighs.
Okay. So if that's the case, then why don't you make a place where you try to set up a scenario that you're pretty sure that you're not holding your thighs. So why don't you go down the long side, for instance, in this, let's be creative here. Let's go down the long side, hold the strap, and really open your thighs when you sit, and then keep going the rising, but now. Any of the times that your bum's in the saddle, could you open your thighs, take your legs away kind of thinking? We're not ready for sitting trot yet, but now, every time your bum's in the saddle, you have an opportunity to release your thighs. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. So do that. Maybe that's something that needs to be part of the mix in the beginning, and that he can be a little longer, he can be, a little whatever, and again, maybe that's something that you give 2 or 3 circles whole times around the arena. Maybe you like it, maybe this is something that's helpful, so maybe it's something you do a few circles one way, a few circles another way even. Maybe it's something that's in the everyday routine, maybe it's something that's in every once in a while. But I think if you don't understand to open your thighs, now, before you even do sitting trot, it's just a little flash, right? It's a little second. It's just a little, like, it has to be really quick, but do you feel any more loose?
Now I'm getting some energy.
Okay, so that's good. So it's kind of like we went fishing here, or we went digging, and then we're going to say, I don't know, let's see what we get. So let's change the direction. And even though his head is going, the nose is going a little bit out, the pole's coming a little bit higher, I actually don't mind because I keep looking at the hind legs. Of course, we would love for him to pick up his hind legs and never move the sand, but I think that it's pretty safe to say that he's never going to get like excellent at that because he's only getting older. But I think that you could also try to look at the video too if you get chances to see that if letting his head come a little bit up out, but we get his hind legs to step out of the sand a little bit more, I don't mind that either, right? So I'm always talking about these weird scenarios or weird kind of trade-offs of what, I don't mind a trade-off if we understand why or what, right? I don't mind it. But if there's no like, if you're just like cruising around and the head's in the air and he's dragging his legs and he's going painfully slow and you're clinching everything, like I don't want that. I want to know, well, why is his head a little higher now and his nose is a little bit out? And I want you to say, well, because I'm trying to soften my legs and I'm not focusing on the front, I'm going to focus more on the hind. I will say perfect. Okay, that's great. As long as you're in the progress or the progression of going in the direction that we want. It doesn't always have to be so confined or so perfect because it's more of a claustrophobic feel for the horse. The same way if I'm teaching you, I can't start really getting angry for every little thing to you right now. It will get overwhelming or too frustrating. We have to do step by step of what we can do. And then we have to do steps that are really easily buildable steps. So in this case, does it help you when you sit to think about taking your legs away? And we haven't even gone to the sitting trot yet.
Yeah, I think it does.
Good. And you can see how this could work really easily. What would be the next something, for instance, that we could try? Maybe even now, he's getting a little bit more warmed up, but for sure when his back is warm. We could also try that you know, your legs are coming away now, softer, now. Then you could maybe go sit, rise. Away, and then go rise. And as you're going rising and you're sitting on the sit part of your rise, the legs are still coming away. It's a kind of interesting exercise. So when you go sit, legs away, go back to rising trot, but the sit part of every rising trot, the thighs are still loose. You're going to start training yourself. I'm going to let go of my legs. I don't need my legs. Look, I don't need my legs on the sit part of the rise. Right. That's half of each strap, right? Good. Try again the sitting. And so sometimes we have to say, we don't mind if how Donner warms up, if he has his nose a little bit up and out, or if he, you know, surprises us sometimes and keeps his nose in and deep. We're always, like, it's a lot of experimental things with him, but it's not just him. I think this is a really good thing to learn. I don't mind it. As long as you can give me a backup reason. I say, hey, Lucinda, okay, it's 2 seconds into your warm-up. Why are you holding the strap? Why do you have a long frame? What are you going to say?
Well, I need to loosen my body and I need to loosen his body.
Right. And you're going to say it's okay because he's going in out. Right? Right. What if he's having a real sticky day? What if he's like super sticky? So he's like super sticky, and we know you need to loosen your body, and we know you need to loosen your body. We wouldn't want to let him all the way loose either. He would maybe need a little help, right? So and then we know that some of those days I've had you hold the reins really loose with one hand and use one hand up and around and everything, and that miraculously works too. Because we take the focus off of the short range and the contact. And the idea would be that's all great as long as we can still at some point in the ride start to shorten them again though, right? Or maybe throughout the week we could say, well, we had like a day where we had to stretch. That's fine as long as the next day or the next day that you know what I mean? At some point you have to still ask him to come together. Right? Good. All right, let's go for Kenter.
The holding the stuff.
Yeah, I think the way you are. Let's try. I'm just trying to give you tools. I think that everything that we talk about between 0 and 10, all the variables, all the different stages, you know, your toolbox is getting full, right? So more center. Be careful that he stays straight. And again, it's a little bit that theme today where it's like, okay, perfect. He's enough, but let's go ahead and open those sides. Let's see if we can get any funny results by experimenting. Don't pull off to the outside. Keep going more in your seat. I want more behind. I need his back to move more. I don't mind about his head now, because if his hind legs are coming enough up and you start touching the reins and he doesn't slow down and brace up, then we know that he'll come round and he'll be nice. But it's always through the hind legs and through his back and then up to the hands. The hands, the neck and the head and the frame on the front will come very easily if he's coming forward enough. You know that. Good. Let's get those legs away more. And really breathe. I can hear you breathing today. This is good. And I feel like soon or now, start thinking about holding the rein contact without the strap. Start taking the legs away. And now we start to see if it works. If we start to see that you can keep pushing your seat and leg though. Up to more hands. Good. Good, good, good. Now we can add to that, right? Now we can add this layer. Why? Why can we do it?
He's forward enough.
Yeah, I think so. And think of making him more jumping. And when you get more jumping and more forward, close your fingers gently, massage him, and ask him for more, but don't disrupt the jump. Don't fall off to the outside. Keeping the nose straight. As if you had him with side reins. And your seat and your leg is the whip if you're lunging him. And your seat and your whip is like helping him to go up to the contact of the side reins, which are your hands. Don't fall off to the outside. Good. Trot when you're ready. Use this trot, go rising, go. Good. Let's shorten the reins. Good. Good. And let's shorten the reins. So do you see how that's working? I think this will be a good video to see too, with like, okay, let's change to be, because he has enough. We're kind of happy with the start. Let's let him have a little bit more freedom. Let's work a little bit on our thighs. Let's see if he comes a little looser. Let's go to the canter. Let's not worry about his head. But at the end, I said, okay, use this energy, massage him, see what results you have. And then because of it, coming to this trot is when you really like, ooh, 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 God. Now, all of a sudden, it's more serious, right? This is good. Put your calves, put your seat. I want like a response, quickly. Good. Put more calves, put more legs behind you, and I want him to hold your legs on for a second on your calves. Did you feel anything? Good. And the change of direction, a serpentine kind of, half one maybe. Yeah, good, good, there, good. I like this, good. Go with your shoulders, go with your elbows, good. I think sometimes too, it's always the outfit. So today I can see your elbows really well. This is great. Come along the side. Come on, hop, hop, hop. Now think of making this trot a little more in place, but don't lose this step and the energy, and breathe. Don't lose the step. A little more in place so you shorten the range. Don't lose the energy behind. His hind legs step just the same or more, but I want him to like slow down in front and like shorten his body, but like more hind legs, more. Shorten him in front again and breathe. Good job. Good. You're going to canter out of this next corner, and I think you can keep the hand. So the whole back, get up to the canter, so he doesn't come up with a contact. Good. So the first part we were holding a strap, and now we've gone to just go ahead because I like it. Why? Because I like the way it looks. Good. Good. Okay, walk. Walk and then we'll canter, but don't die. Don't stop. Don't stop. Do not stop. Do not stop. Don't teach him that. Come on. You walk him up. Every time he knows that you're tired to the end, and he's going to do that to you. You can take a break, but he has to walk up. He is not tired. He is not tired at all. Walk him up. And do really like 5 or 6 really good deep breaths, because train yourself, because that's what happens in the test. You get a short period of walk, you do a little medium walk, and then a lengthened walk, and you have got to get yourself recovered fast. So if you need to take a break like that, and we're not ready for take a break, and you do it, try to figure out how quickly you can get yourself back. And back to shorter range. Don't let him long like that, because you're just making yourself, because that's why it's nice to get through, to kill yourself to finish the sequence, because now we have to still do the canter, and you decided to let him scratch his leg, and you wanted to take a break, but now we've got to do the canter, and you may or may not have now more of a challenge. You were nearly there. You had him up and together. The chances of having a better canter were easier at that time. Not saying that it's not going to still work out. It'll be fine. But this is why you want to be sure. So if you're going to take a break, you are not letting him down and scratching his leg and, you know, all of these things. Because it's going to be harder to put him together. Good, let's canter. And breathe. Good job. Yes. Good job. Same thing. Right straight through the right elbow. Right elbow, right shoulder. Good. Good. And think of bringing your legs, your calves down around him. Don't raise your left inside hand too much. And ride more his hind legs the day you feel them jump